Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I really hope you're all doing okay and having a great day and an amazing week. My name is Effy and today we have another testing video and we are testing Wet n Wild. If you can see glitter on my face or lash glue in my eyelashes, it's because this is the 5th testing video I've filmed this weekend. I filmed 3 yesterday. This is my second one today. It's the last one I've got to do. The glitter is all from my testing Rude Cosmetics video and it's still all over my face. Good to know. Today we are testing Wet n Wild, and Wet n Wild is an American brand that in the UK you can get it in Boots and you can also order it off beautybay, and I know that beautybay ships to a lot of countries, so that's probably your best bet unless they stock it in a shop near you. But we are going to put it all on my face today, once again starting with a fresh face so that you can come on the testing journey with me. But I will stop rambling and get on with the video. If you like it, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you like my content, please consider subscribing. I put up 2 videos a week and it's all makeup content, so if that sounds like your type of thing, then this is the place for you. I test a lot of makeup, I play with a lot of makeup, I love makeup, so if that's your type of thing, then come and join. Hit that subscribe button, it's free, and if you don't want to miss any of my uploads, you can also hit the notification bell. But other than that, let's get on with the video. Okay, I think now we're zoomed in a bit, you can probably see the glitter on my face a bit more, but that's fine. We carry on. I'm going to start with my base today. I've done my eyes first a lot recently because I've had fear of fallout since the Colourpop video. But I have a pretty neutral palette today, so even if I get fallout, it shouldn't be that bad. So we're going to start with base. And first up, I have a primer. This is the Photofocus Face Primer Matte. Yep. I feel like people used to talk about this primer a lot, and I think that's why I recognised it and picked it up. Okay, it's not what I was expecting. I was expecting like a silicone-y clear primer, but this is just a white cream. It has a smell, not a very nice one. My face does feel nice and smooth, nice and mattified. It is looking very mattified. It feels nice and smooth. It's quite nice. Let's see how foundation sits on top of it. And we have the Photofocus Foundation Matte. I think they have a dewy version of this. I picked up the shade Soft Ivory. I just gave this a shake and it sounds so liquidy. Listen. Can you hear that? I don't know if you can. If you can, I'm sorry because it probably sounded horrible. But let's give this a go. How do I get the... Oh, it's... What am I doing? Okay, it's like a spatula, which kind of reminds me of the MUA Pro Base Foundation, which I actually really love, but the difference being that the Pro Base Foundation is very thick, so you can sort of spatula it onto your face without fear of it dripping everywhere. This is much more liquidy, so I'm kind of worried that it's just going to drop off the spatula and onto my clothes, which isn't what I want. I don't know how much to use, so I'm probably going to use too much. As always, when I'm testing foundations, I will do half my face with a sponge and half with a brush to see which one works best. I'm not sure about it, so coverage level, you can still see quite a lot of what's going on my cheek here. I do have like spot prone skin. I get spots fairly often. I also have scars from spots. My skin itself is normal to combination, so at the moment my forehead is very dry and it's looking very dry. Like, it looks quite scaly. I'll give you a zoomed in look in a moment. I am going to put a little bit more on to see if it is buildable. Right now, like, apart from my forehead, I don't mind it. It's not looking too bad on the rest of my face. I know it's not covering up everything on my cheeks, but that's fine. I don't expect it to, because it's not full coverage. But let's try building it up a bit more. I think I'm just going to go in with a sponge. I didn't mind it with a brush at all. I think it worked fine with a brush, but I'm just going to go in with a sponge now. I do think that added some more coverage, so I will agree with the claim that it is buildable. I quite like that. However, it is looking a little bit more cakey the more I've put on. Especially on my cheeks, around my nose, is where I have like my big pores, because I do have quite big pores on my skin. It does just look a little bit cakey. I think building it up on my forehead was not the thing I should have done. So if you have dry patches, maybe try just going in with a very small amount of this, or get the one that's not matte, because this is quite matte. I have no shine to my face. Yeah, it's not looking great. I'll give you a zoomed in look so hopefully you can see what I'm talking about, but it's just not looking the best. Okay, so this is my skin. I'm hoping you can kind of see what I'm going on about. Ignore my lips, they look terrible, I'm sorry. But just around my nose, on my pores, on my cheeks, it's just not looking the best. I'll show you my dry patch on my forehead. I'm sorry, it looks really bad. I think I got bit by something and then it's just really affected my skin in that area. But yeah, it's just not looking the best. It's sort of clinging a little bit to areas. It's not looking best like where my like mouth creases. I don't know what it's called, I'm sorry. But it's just not looking its best around there. I think the colour match is relatively fine. I think it's a fine colour match. By the time I have the rest of my base on, it'll be pretty good. It's just not my favourite, unfortunately. So let's go with a little bit of concealer. I have the Photofocus concealer in the shade Fair Beige. I actually quite like the concealer. It's got good coverage. It's bright in my under eyes. It's not looking too creasy. My under eyes crease anyway, no matter what I put on there. But it's not looking too bad. Very brightening. It hasn't made my dry patches on my forehead look worse. I mean, it hasn't made them look better, but nothing will at this point. I quite like it. It is looking a little bit cakey, but that could be the foundation, to be honest. Negative side, the doe foot is small and doesn't hold a lot of product. I had to dip in quite a lot, which is a very small issue and I'm willing to put up with, but it's just not ideal. I mean, there are other concealers that I don't have to do that with, but overall I actually quite like it. I mean, I feel like the foundation is not helping it. It's not looking its best, but I feel like this would work so well with like any normal foundation that I like. I didn't pick up a powder from them, so I am just going to quickly powder my face. Yeah, I'm still not liking this foundation. I think I've now decided I don't like it, but we'll carry on. I'm going to start with blush. I picked up this blush. It is the blush Colour Icon blush in Pearlescent Pink. This is the shade. Yeah, let's give it a go. Let's put a little bit of this on. Okay, I know I like a lot of blush, but I'm having to like into this just to get that amount of payoff. Finally, we have some blush on my face, and I actually didn't realise, but this does have a little bit of a sheen to it. I should have guessed by the name Pearlescent. But the sheen looks quite nice. It is a golden sheen, so maybe this is trying to be a dupe of like NARS Orgasm, which I know a lot of blushes try to dupe. But I actually quite like it. Although it's called Pearlescent Pink, I think it has a hint of like peachy coraliness to it. It's not full on pink, which I quite like. I put a lot on. I maybe got a touch carried away, but when don't I with blush, let's be honest. I quite like the shade. I think it works quite well on me. I think this is a bit more of like a spring, summer type shade. It's the sheen in it, because it's got a golden sheen, looks a bit weird on my chin. But it looks fine everywhere else. It is maybe a touch on the too sheeny side for me. I prefer a matte blush, but this one's quite nice. It's just a little bit too much of a shimmer in it. However, I say that and I'm going to put some more shimmer on it. So this is the Hello Halo Blush Lighter. Yep. In the shade Highlight Bling. I feel like everybody loves this product. So obviously this side I'm going to be using as my highlighter, but this side I want to try and use it as like a blush topper and see how I like it. Okay, I literally used the smallest amount because I'm not a fan of highlighty blush, as I just said, but I think that has just helped to sort of bring that sheen more to a pink than a gold, which I think suits me a little bit better. I quite like it. I will be using this as my highlighter, but I'm going to go in with bronzer first. And we have the Colour Icon bronzer in the shade Ticket to Brazil. This is a very, very pale bronzer, which is good. Does it have sheen to it? I feel like it has a little bit of a sheen to it. Oh, you can't even see that on my hand. I don't know if this is going to be too pale for me. I don't think I've ever said that about a bronzer ever before, but let's give it a go. A bit like the blush, it's very subtle. I did have to dig into it quite a bit, which is fine. In fact, I think the embossing is even starting to like wear off a little bit. There was like a leaf in there and it's starting to wear off already, which, you know, is fine, but I did have, that's one use, you know. However, it is a yellow tone bronzer, and if you've been watching my testing videos over the past couple of months, you'll know that I've learned that yellow tone bronzers are the one for me. They just suit me so much better than red or orange toned bronzers. And every single bronzer I've tested over the past couple of months has been yellow toned, and I've been falling in love with bronzers, and this is no different. It's yellow toned. It looks so good on my skin. I can't believe I went years without knowing to just pick yellow tone bronzers. Although it does have a slight sheen to it, you can't really tell when it's on your face. It may be giving a little bit of a glow, but it's nothing too intense or ridiculous or anything like that. I actually think it looks really nice, and the packaging is really small and compact, and I think this is actually really good. This is great. I actually really like this. Now for highlight, and yes, I did just hit myself in the head with it. Right. Very excited. Open. This shade here, I feel like everybody raves about this. And I can see why. I know it's like a pink toned highlight. In fact, it's not even that pink toned. Oh, it's beautiful. Please get on my face. Yeah, I'm gonna love this. I might even mix it with a tiny bit of the pink just to make it more pink toned. And I love pink toned highlight, in case you didn't know. That is stunning. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll try it by itself on one cheek, and then I'll mix them together and put it on the other cheek. Okay, to all the people saying that that's too much, I agree, it's too much, but wow, what a highlight. I mean, I went in with way too much. Let me try powdering. Powder brush to the rescue. Or not, because it's too powerful. I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm taking this off after this video to go to the gym. That's beautiful. Such an intense highlight. It is icy. If I look to the front, it's not giving me a cast or anything, so it's not too bad, but it is an icy highlight, and I know that's not what everybody wants. So yeah, let's try mixing it with a bit of the darker shade, the more pinky shade, and see if I get a different result. Okay, I'm really hoping you can see that. I can't tell because my monitor's there, so if I'm looking this way I can't see it, but that's quite nice. I think it toned it down a little bit, so I'm actually going to add a little bit of the pink shade just over here. Yeah, I quite like it. I quite like both sides actually. I think I also went in with slightly less product on this side, which would have helped, but yeah. That is a beautiful, beautiful highlight. It is very intense, so it's not going to be an everyday sort of product for me. I do love it though. I'm going to go in with a little bit down my nose. I think I'm going to just use this shade because I think this one will be too dark, but I am going to use a very light hand, and I'm also going to do my Cupid's bow. It is very icy. I'm noticing that like down the centre of my nose it's very icy. If you have a darker skin tone, I don't know how this would work on you. Obviously, if you like an icy highlight and you have a dark skin tone than me, that's all your decision and that's completely fine. But just be aware, it is very icy. In terms of glitter, it's not that glittery. I think it is picking up on texture quite a bit over here, more than I would normally notice. So be aware of that. But I actually quite like it. Texture doesn't bother me. Skin has texture. That's how skin is. Time to zoom you in and do the eyes. Turns out you're already pretty much fully zoomed in, so here we are now. This is the eyeshadow palette I have. It is the Coffee Cat eyeshadow palette. It says that it's coffee scented. Yeah, it kind of is. It's not like coffee, I would say. It's like vanilla coffee. Yeah, this is what my vanilla coffee smells like in the morning. It's a very neutral palette. They did have a more colourful one, but it was almost like pastel-y. and I'm not too interested in that, so I got the neutral one. Could always do with more neutral palettes in my life. I am getting more into neutral palettes, not online, but in my private life I use browns a bit more often. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shimmers. So you've got this shimmer up here, this one, this one, this one, and then this one sort of looks like a satiny shade. I'm not too sure. Let's do some swatches. Let's go for 2 shimmers and 2 mattes. So this shimmer and this shimmer, and then this matte because that is my type of matte. That looks nice. And let's test the darkest shade. Wow, that's dark. Let's put them on the back of my hand. Okay, that second shimmer doesn't look to be doing much. That first shimmer though, stunning. And those 2 mattes look amazing. I'm going to quickly prime my eyes. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Putty Primer in white. For once, I'm actually going to work lightest to darkest. I will say this primer is very, very matte. So if the shades look a bit weird, I should have just used a different primer, is what I'm trying to say. I'm going to start with this one. Okay, that looks quite nice. Blended quite nicely. It has blended out quite nicely. It's covered that white a fair amount. When I'm finished, I'll go in with this shade to cover up the rest of the white. But for now, I'm going to grab a different brush. And I'm going to go in with this shade because it's just calling me. Perfect. That shade is blending so nicely. It went on top of the other shade really easily. No issues there. Let's grab another brush. Now I'm going to go in with this shade. Yeah, this shade. There we go. Again, blended beautifully on top of those other shades. And finally, the last matte shade I'm going to use is obviously the dark one. Very pigmented. Okay. Again, went on beautifully, even over 3 other shades. Like, it's at this point it's not even touching my eye primer, but it's gone on beautifully. They've smoked out lovely. Lovelily? Great. They've smoked out great. I would love to do a brown smoky eye using this palette. Maybe I will do that. If you want to see more looks done with this palette and any of my other makeup, please just follow me over on Instagram. It's just at Effys_place. I post a lot more frequently over there, so you can check that out. But this is good. I'm just going to blend those shades. I'm also going to pull them along my lower lash line pretty much in the exact same order, so it shouldn't be too crazy. But yeah, I love this. I would love to do just a fully matte smoked out look, but we are going to test some shimmers, don't worry. And as promised, I'm just going to go in with this super pale shade, which is pretty much my skin colour, and just blend it out a lot more. And now I'm just going to whack a shimmer shade all over my lid. I think I might go for this one here. I'm going to try wetting it a little bit. Stunning. And I'm just going to go in with a little bit of this shade on my inner corner as well. The shade doesn't seem to really do a lot. I'm not sure why. I do have a touch of fallout. Okay, my battery is flashing at me, but I do have a brow product to show you. This is the Brow Sensitive, I have no idea, brow shaping gel in the shade Blonde. So obviously I am going to have to use a pencil alongside this, but I'm just going to test this out. It's a nice small brush, which we love. Like I said, we'll need to use a brow pencil when I go off camera, but it has just brought a little bit of life back to my brow hairs after having foundation and powder and all that put on my face. Tinted brow gel helps to just liven them back up again. I am loving my tinted brow gels at the moment, so I quite like this one. The brush was super small and the formula wasn't too wet, which I quite like. It had a bit of like creaminess to it. It looks very nice. It seems to be a good match for my hair, if not a touch warm, but that's fine. I can live with that. Anyway, I'm going to go off camera, catch up the other eye, do my eyeshadow, put some mascara on. I'm not testing a Wet n Wild mascara because I'm not testing any new mascaras until I use up some of the ones I have. So I'll just put on a random mascara. I'll come back and we'll do a lip. I'll see you in a moment. Okay, I'm back. I did eyeliner for the first time in literally months. It's not at the right angle, but they're relatively symmetrical. My brows look terrible because of the pencil I used, not because of the brow gel. I actually quite like the brow gel. It's not made them crunchy, it's not coming off on my finger. That's from my swatching earlier, which won't come off. Yeah, the eyeshadow I really like. It blends so easily. The shimmer is quite nice. This is a very where's it gone? This is a very everyday palette for me, but I actually quite like this palette. It does smell nice. I quite like the smell of it. And the shades worked amazingly, even on top of each other, which is just great. So yeah, this is a really nice palette, and it was super inexpensive, I think, so this is going to get a lot of use, and I'm very happy about that. So now let's put on a lipstick, and for once I only have one lip product to test. Normally in these testing videos I have like 5 lip products that need to go on my face, and it's just a lot of effort and my lips end up looking horrendous by the end of it. But this time we only have one. I can't get into it, but that's fine. We're in. So this is the Mega Last Liquid Catsuit Matte Lipstick in the shade Give Me Mocha. I mean, it's brown. I will say it was quite difficult. I ordered some of this stuff off beautybay and some of it I picked up in Boots. I ordered this off beautybay. It was kind of difficult to figure out what shade to use. I had to like Google swatches. Ooh, but let's... It has a scent to it. I don't particularly like it, but I don't particularly hate it either. So let's give this a go. Okay. So, I don't know how well you could tell, but I was struggling a little bit with the application there. The doe foot is very fuzzy, so it's hard to get a defined line. It's also a rather thin texture, so it was sort of slipping about a little bit. It's also not 100% opaque. It might dry down to be, but right now it's not perfect. It's a little bit patchy. Would definitely benefit from a lip liner, because I don't know how well you can see, I was really struggling to get a straight line along my bottom lip. It's still not perfectly straight. It is drying down a little bit now. It was quite nice on the lips, like the texture. It was very thin. It wasn't like a thick mousse or anything like that. It is starting to dry down now, and it is starting to feel a little bit dry, which isn't the best. Time to finish up this video because I've rambled on enough. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you like my content, please consider subscribing. I put up 2 videos a week and it's all makeup content, so if that sounds like the type of thing, then this is the place for you. I'm trying to test loads of makeup at the moment. I'm trying to do roughly 2 testing videos a month, whether that's a full face or just a new palette to test. I'm trying to do that for you, so if that sounds like your type of thing, then please just hit that subscribe button. It's free, and if you hit the notification bell, you will be notified every time I upload, so you don't miss anything. But other than that, I'll let you go. Have a great day and an amazing week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!